Well, greetings YouTube. I'm recording this in Shanghai, China, where I had to go vacuum shopping with the in-laws kind of unexpectedly. We were actually originally looking for a washer and dryer, but we stumbled of course upon Miele because, you know, Miele makes quality, and my mother-in-law let my wife know that they needed a vacuum. So we went vacuum shopping, and we have here a Miele C3. Now, if you live in the UK, this video is definitely going to apply to you, or anywhere with the 220 market. But because a lot of my viewers are in the US, I thought I'd unbox this and talk about the goodies we get over here, particularly to the China market, because in the Chinese market, they don't have the wattage restriction that they do in the Europe right now. So that means this has a full 2,000 watt motor, and I tested this in the store and it's amazing. We'll talk about that in a minute. So I'm just going to unbox it, and first thing I want to just talk about is there's this diagram, and forever I've had customers picking it up here, here, or here, and really you want to pick it up here where you are actually picking up the machine in the box. It's a nice detail that Miele's been doing for years, and I've always appreciated it. And you can see we have here a complete C3 Medicair PowerLine, and then the model number. Miele changed their model numbers up, and I don't like that because they used to be a normal number, and now it's SGFA1. There's no sense whatsoever that any human being can make. Maybe if you live in Germany, you can correct me on that, but I don't think they make really any sense anymore. So let's go ahead and open it. And the first thing I'm going to tell you is the box looks exactly the same as what we see in the US. Exactly the same set of features and all that. And they talk about Miele Germany and why Miele and all that. So let's go ahead and open it up. Now, I'm also in China. I don't have my usual knife. I have to use a multi-tool. So go ahead and open that up. And you want to be careful not to cut these because your machine's right there. And you can see there's instructions on how to pull it out of the box, which is what we love about Miele, is there are instructions. And they have, you know, GN bags listed right here, and some accessories and where to buy them. And it's important to always use genuine Miele bags and filters for, if you want your motor to last. That's really important. And I'm going to pull out the rest of this. And this is where the kind of cool thing about this. So a lot of people don't know, but the Miele foam can be put in a few different ways to accommodate all their models with the same model of foam. It's one of the things they do to make them eco-friendly. I'm not too big into eco-friendly stuff, but that's kind of a cool thing from an engineering point of view. So that's the box. And what we have here is we have the vacuum in the bag, and I'll talk about that in just a second. But let's talk about the accessories. And now the accessories for Miele always come in a separate little nice box that you could carry around or store separately. So we have the newer type hose that Miele is doing. You can tell that by the two colors there. Now we have the traditional handle pump. This is not the gas pump handle grip, but it's really, really nice. Oh, and yes, we have the newer wand. And this wasn't in display in the store, but this is the newer wand, which doesn't ratchet very loud like the old ones. And it's really nice. You got a bumper right there. And you have this extra seal here. Really nice stuff. And the reason Miele uses a plastic tip is so that if you are using this along a wooden edge or baseboard, you're not going to scratch it. That's why it's plastic there. And then everything just locks in, of course, really nicely, being a Miele. And everything's really, really firm and tough. And for the first few months you might own your Miele that's going to be like that because it has to break in. But let's see, we got this floor tool, and this floor tool is special. I'll talk about that in just a second. And then Miele was nice enough to give us batteries. And then we have a manual, and we'll open this up. So that's the manual. And there is the warranty warranty. That's in Chinese. I'm not going to be able to read that. But I'm curious what the manual is. Yeah, the manual still, this is the same manual we get in the US, so that's kind of cool. And then, they're Panasonic brand batteries. How about that? Let's talk about the floor tool. So, we do not get this floor tool in the US. There's a separate manual for the floor tool, of course, being Miele. And this is your standard switchable floor tool, right? That we've all seen with the mono wheel. But on there is a different neck. And the different neck on here has a dirt sensor in it. Kind of like the old Panasonics and some of the Recars have now. So that's really cool that there is a dirt sensor on there. Now the next question I have, being a dirt sensor, never seen one of these in person before. I've never seen one of these. I've tried to order one and Miele wouldn't send it to me. Does the dirt sensor work with a microphone or like an infrared or laser or something like that? So that's the question I have about that. We're just going to put the batteries in here. Alright. Then we have an arrow right here. Yep. Looks like the dirt, oh, you can see it there. The dirt sensor works on a microphone, it looks like, on this one. So kind of like the old Hoover wind tunnels. So that's kind of cool for that the Chinese market can get this. Now let's talk about this, which we can unwrap. We can read the sticker there, and we can see it says 1700 watts. So I guess, don't know where they get the full 2000 from, but 220 volt. You got the serial number there, and then this has the regular wheels on it, but still soft bumper. Now, something that a lot of people don't understand is right here we have the parking system for parking the upright. You can park the hose, your wand there, or you can park it there. So that is super useful as well. Now controls on board, we have your on off, plus minus in terms of suction. We have our power cord, which this looks like a US power cord, except it doesn't have the holes in the polarization. So this is a 220 power cord. We'll turn this on in just a second, and it's got a one-touch cord release. Now the other thing this is going to have is your standard Miele 3, which is your dusting brush, your upholstery tool with some nice lint pickers there. This actually works really good, almost as well as a turbo brush on sometimes. And then you have a crevice tool. Now, if you want bigger tools, don't worry, there are plenty available from Miele, so you don't have to worry about that. And when we open this up, you zoom in here for you. I'll show you what's in there. So this is the HEPA filter, and we can write the date on here, but there's actually a plus button. You heard that. You might not always hear that when you press those, but that lets you know in a year kind of change the HEPA filter. Technically it's 60 working hours from Miele on the HEPA filter, and then we have the bag. We'll talk about the bag here in a second. But I want to also point out everything is really stiff because it's a new machine. We have a pre-motor filter. In this, you want to change every box of bags. And the reason being is the bags are made out of this cloth. And you can see the cloth has like some lint in that. And that lint gets stuck in the filter. So that's kind of what that does. And then in case this bag were to break, this saves the motor. It also saves the motor if, for instance, you have somebody who doesn't know how to put the bag in. And the thing when putting the bag in, it's super easy. You got arrows there, you just tuck it in, right? So we put the bag in, but when we open this, you actually have to resettle the bag every time. And why that is because when we open this, like this, it half ejects the bag so it's easier to pull out. And that was done for consumers. The previous generation Miele, that was one of the complaints, that the bag was too hard to pull out. So that's why it's done. And now if you don't put the bag in there, in theory, it's not going to shut. So really, really smart design. And then they tell you right there that it takes a end bag. So that closes. And then the hose will lock in here. I just want to note, on the C3 versus the S8, there's no electric here to upgrade to a power head, unless you buy the Brilliant. And that's, again, that's a Chinese market or a European market thing to note. So, and then this will just snap right on here, just like so. So let's fire this up, and you're going to notice it's a little louder than the ones in the US, and that's again because of the size of the motor in this. I want to talk about how this works. So when dirt comes in this, it's going to change color. Well, hopefully we can find some dirt. Up there we go. Yeah, it actually works really well. You can see that stuff is picking up. Really cool. Now I've got it on. These settings here, and we're going to talk about what's there. So you got your minus button, and then they have a minimum and a maximum, and they have some icons for suggestions. Now they're only suggestions. Drapes, an area rug. The ear is the lowest you can set it that it will still pick up with the floor tool. And then maximum, bare floor. You see, maneuvers really well. What a wonderful little vacuum. Well, I'm able to show you how low this thing gets, because I know somebody in the comments would say that this is going to impair going under something. So you can see that just fits under there really well. That's actually not bulky, it's not going to get in the way. So this machine has a 10-meter cord with what they call a one-touch cord rewind button. I'm just going to show you that right there. And for those of you who aren't familiar with what 10 meters were, that is approximately 30 feet. So plenty of reach, the most that Miele offers in a canister vacuum right now in terms of length. Well, thank you for watching the unboxing video here in China, and to everybody in the rest of the world watching, thanks for watching. Hit that subscribe button, definitely hit the thumbs up as well, and we'll see you next time. Look at it.